A state of public emergency has been declared in the St. Catherine North Police Division, effective Sunday, March 18th. These enhanced security measures through the Emergency Powers Act will last initially for 14 days. Crime and violence, in particular murders, have been escalating in this police division. The security forces have advised me as Prime Minister in writing that a high level of criminal activity continues and threatens public order and the rule of law. This threat is extensive. The Governor General signed the proclamation under the Emergency Powers Act to bring into effect these enhanced security measures. The proclamation has also been gazetted. This is a copy of the gazetted proclamation.
Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Under the enhanced security measures, the security forces will have extraordinary powers and some rights will be suspended. This does not mean that the use of these extraordinary powers can be arbitrary or are beyond review. The security forces are expected and have been directed to treat citizens with respect and to protect the dignity and safety of all Jamaicans. The security forces will have the powers to search, curtail operating hours of businesses, access to places, and to detain persons without a warrant. All persons using all roadways leading into and out of the St. Catherine North area will be subject to vehicle and personal search. In various areas, there will be joint static and mobile patrols. Persons may also be stopped at various checkpoints. As stipulated under the Emergency Powers Act, the Emergency Powers Review Tribunal will be shortly named. I will address the Parliament at the earliest opportunity on this declaration.
The Commissioner of Police Acting, DCP Clifford Blake.
Good morning. The St. Catherine North Police has been on the police radar for a number of years. The police force has been actively involved in attempting to bring order to the St. Catherine North Police Division. Despite several activities, the movement of gangs and guns continue. As of this morning, March 8, we have seen 48 murders since the start of the year. This compares with 30 for the similar period last year. Given the threat to rule of law, we have recommended enhanced security measures to be implemented based on the following. There has been an escalation in criminal activity and in particular murder since the start of the year. For all of 2017, there were 136 murders recorded in that division. Since the start of the year, we have seen 48 persons murdered. Between January and March last year, March 18, there were 21 murders. Between January and March 18 in 2017, there were 30 murders. Therefore, the trajectory shows there's a significant escalation. The St. Catherine North Division had the largest gang operating in Jamaica, the Klansman gang. This gang has been responsible for scores of murders, robberies, and extortion, not only in St. Catherine, but in neighboring parishes. There is a high level of extortion existing in St. Catherine and in particular Spanish Town. There's threat to public safety and the rule of law. Intelligence assessments indicate the possibility of a further increase in criminal activity due to inter-conflict in the Klansman gang. There will be keen focus on issues of public order by the joint forces, and these will be in particularly Linstead, Spanish Town, and the Bagwalk area will be on our radar. The joint forces will use all tools available to restore public order and the rule of law under these powers. And we will be publishing our list of most wanted persons by this afternoon.
Major General Rocky Meade, Chief of Defense Staff.
Good morning, all. A joint force of the Jamaica Defense Force and Jamaica Constabulary Force deployed this morning to the St. Catherine North Police Division to effect enhanced security measures within the following boundaries. The northern boundary, the parish boundary starting from the intersection of the St. Anne, Clarendon, and St. Catherine parish boundary, running east towards Garfield Road, to the north-south highway, Monique Leg, then to Geisel Square, and to Sethfield. The eastern boundary, parish boundary running south to Sligoville, to the intersection of Highway 2000, to Lake Spen Road, to Port Henderson Road, to Salt Pond Road, and Hill Run Main Road. The southern boundary, from the Heartland Main Road to the Hill Run Main Road. The western boundary, parish boundary running south to Ginger Ridge, to Blue Hole, to Marley Hill, to Dover Road, to the intersection of the P.J. Patterson Highway, and then to the Heartland Main Road. We acknowledge that persons may be justifiably concerned about the implications of enhanced security operations on their everyday lives. We want to assure citizens that both the JDF and JCF have been properly trained and oriented to give due regard to human rights of all persons. Our exemplary record in the other areas in which we have had enhanced security powers have been declared is positive proof that we do intend to continue maintaining the human rights of our citizens. Nonetheless, we urge persons to acquaint themselves with the regulations and requirements governing the state of emergency in order to easily and conveniently transit the area as they go about their lawful business. A very important feature of this enhanced security measure is that our Jamaica National Service Corps persons, which have been a valuable addition to our ranks, will be deployed on this operation. 241 Jamaica National Service Corps personnel will be deployed, where they will learn from our more experienced soldiers in a major real-world, real-life security scenario, as is very normal. The level of training and experience that the JNSC personnel have acquired so far made them well-suited for increased levels of involvement in our security operations. They'll be used primarily for operational support and administration, and we certainly want to thank these JNSC personnel for their extremely valuable contribution to national security and encourage them to take advantage of this important, valuable learning opportunity, which is the final stage of their preparation before converting to the regular force. As we pledge to carry out our operations with professionalism and respect, we are seeking the cooperation of the citizens to use the very popular JDF tip line, 837-8888, to supply us with information about the criminals and criminal activity. This is a key component of our intelligence and data gathering assets and heavily support our involvement. We'll be doing our part by publishing photos, bulletins, social media images, and data about gang members and criminals, as the Acting Commissioner indicated before, to help persons identify these individuals and report them. The hotline is manned on a 24-hour basis and offers convenience and confidentiality, and we anticipate that its success in St. James will be replicated in St. Catherine. In closing, let me reiterate the importance of community support during the enhanced security measures as we strive to reduce incidents of murders, shootings, reestablish the security of our citizens in St. Catherine North, and restore confidence in our state apparatus.
Earlier on, I said the stat was of March 8th, and in truth and fact, is as of today, March 18th. And the figure between January and March 2016, it was 21 murders, and the figure between January and March 2017 were 30 murders.
Good afternoon, Siobhan Campbell, Nationwide News. I have two questions to you, Prime Minister.
I don't want to share them.
Two ZOSOs, two state of emergencies. The question of pushing resources to the limit comes up now, sir. Are you confident that we have the manpower for this operation? Secondly, and I see the Major General is here, the Major General is to take his post tomorrow, and state of emergency adds to his woes starting the job tomorrow. Are you confident that the Major General is up to the task?
Well, let me answer the easy question first. Yes, Major General is up to the task and has been operating in the security environment for many years and has demonstrated by virtue of his record at the Jamaica Defense Force his skill and knowledge in the area. And so I expect that he will be able to do very well in the JCF, which is a different environment, a different structure. I'm certain that he will be respectful of the structure, the organization, and that he will build a strong alliance with the policemen, and that he will assist in the transformation of the organization. So I'm confident that he will do a good job. But the measure of the job is not just completing the job successfully, but what you leave behind as a legacy. And I'm certain that he will also be seeking to leave a legacy behind where we can develop within the organization a very deep pool of skill and talent that can carry on the transformation of the organization. In terms of resources are always a challenge. And it is not just the financial resource, it is the manpower resource. And yes, it has been a constraint in terms of how fast we can execute the plan. The plans are there. We're not short of plans. We know what to do. The question is the resources to actually implement, which is why we have been acting in a very strategic way in increasing the intake training both in the JDF and the JCF so that we can have additional manpower. But it is also a question of management. You would have seen an initiative by DCP Blake in putting more officers on the street to increase visibility and to deal with public order issues. That's a management decision to refocus the use of its human resources to put them in areas that management has determined to be a priority. So yes, we have taken some decisions to increase our manpower, but decisions will also have to be taken about how we use our existing manpower to deal with the priorities. The priorities now, obviously, to deal with escalating crime and violence in particular communities.
Arthur Hall, Sunday Gleaner. Prime Minister, just a follow-up on the question from Nationwide. We have noticed a reduction in the number of police and soldiers in Denham Town. Is this a reflection of the state of emergency in St. Catherine North, and will we see a reduction in Salem and in St. James as well?
Well, I won't answer your question for strategic reasons, but there is a transition in the phase that Denham Town is in. Denham Town is now moving, well, I'll allow General Anderson to, General Meade to.
Thank you very much. So with or without declaring another space that we're going to operate in, the zones of special operation are phased. As you would have recalled from Mount Salem, we went through first the clear phase where we had massive numbers, hold, and then build. Similarly for Denham Town, the phases were always planned. And we are now in the build phase in Denham Town. So the coincidence of having another operation is not what affects the phases. There are certain markers that we look for to declare each phase. And every operation we do, we have phases that we will go through according to the situation on the ground.
Sharp, JNN. What phase is Montego Bay in now?
You mean the Mount Salem zone?
Mount Salem, yes, the Mount Salem, yes.
They're also in the build phase, similar phase. If you remember, that zone was declared first, and so they have been in the build phase for a while now.
Which phase will be the longest, and what should we expect in the build phase?
The build phase is the longest phase. That's the phase where, having had some impact on the criminal gangs and the resources they have, we now seek to rebuild the community as best as possible, subject to resources available, but with the continued involvement of the security forces in providing a secure environment for the agencies of the state who will be working in that phase. But that is indeed planned to be the longest phase, to have the legacy and residual impact of going back to a normal community.
DCP Blake, with 48 murders in that division since the start of the year, can you tell us how it play out with other divisions across the island? Is this the police division with most murders since the start of the year?
Certainly. It's a division which is leading with number of murders.
Teach them! Hey, yo, hello! Send the message and make it reach them. It's Teach Them right here. Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below. Remember to like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Follow me on social media and check out the suggested videos on screen. This is Teach saying, until next time, walk good, my friends.